It's that time. We're on the same side. I have to say that every time. We're on the same side. That means that we have guests on the show.
It's 6:12 somewhere, so you know what that means. It's time for the E612 show.
That's right.
Today's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
We're talking about titles. We're talking about championships. We're talking about it all right here. You ready or what?
Titles. We're ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready to do
Buckle
this.
up today.
Today's
It's a good
show
one.
is going to be great.
In front of a live studio audience. All right, you guys, keep it down out there. Keep it down. So loud. They're cheering.
That guy, he gets, I don't know how he gets a ticket every time.
Every time. He sounds the same. It's crazy.
Well, what's going on?
You ready?
Yeah. Somebody told me I look different.
Probably because you have a beard.
That's what I was going, I thought, but then I was like, no, I just don't have my glasses on.
Oh, maybe. I thought you were going to say, like, maybe you look like you lost weight. Like, oh, you look different.
Oh, yeah.
I lost weight.
Yeah, I'm trimming down.
Yeah, trimming down, growing a beard, getting a different look.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all that wisdom in the beard.
So the beard can hide it.
Yeah.
It's just
the weight.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long beard.
Whoa, wait, what?
I'm just saying to hide.
Oh.
What are you going to say?
I'm talking about my face.
Oh, what are you going to say?
So you can only see the beard and not
Triple double.
Triple double.
Triple patty.
My wife wanted to order a burger yesterday.
we went to Five Guys.
And she said, want to get a 3 patties? I said, for that much, why don't we just get two?
Well, because I
burgers?
said I'll split. I said, let's split a meal. We'll be good. We'll split a meal. But let's get like 3 patties, 4 patties.
And I said, well,
it's the same thing.
Well,
but in my mind, it made me feel better that we were going to split the meal. So in my mind, it was like...
Well, we split it. And it wasn't a triple, it was a double.
Yeah.
And it still worked out for us.
It was fine.
Yeah.
We just asked them to give us more fries.
Just more fries, please.
But we split a meal, so I feel better about it. So not sponsored Five Guys, but it was Five Guys.
Did you get a diet?
We did not get a diet.
Oh,
no.
no, I can't.
I love when I go fast food and I get a diet. Like,
Oh, that
No.
washes out everything.
No.
That washes out everything.
we got a Fanta and it got spilled all over me, and that was fun.
good call on the Fanta.
With peach.
So I had to go shopping to get a new hoodie because mine was all wet. So,
But it didn't happen because the line was too long. You didn't get the hoodie.
yeah, I didn't.
But
I thought you were gonna say because I was trying to move and I didn't move fast enough.
well, you didn't move fast enough. You were just like watching the drink like spill all
It's
over.
because it was at a high table, and so I'm got short legs, so I was like couldn't
Matter
like
of fact,
get off
you
fast
used
enough.
your sweater to like stop the drink from going over. I'm like, what are you doing?
This is not in the script. Stick to the script. Start out the show the right way, Holly. Start out the show. We'll tell you more later. Restart.
Restart it. Listen, okay, scratch all that.
No. Start it off.
Let's go. Warriors Creed. Repeat after me. Say, I am
I am
somebody.
somebody.
I am
a
warrior.
warrior.
Therefore, I am
Therefore, I am
victorious.
victorious.
And that's because I am
And that's because I am
a child of God.
a child of God. That's right.
Speaking of victorious, listen, I checked out of because I don't really watch NBA too much anymore.
Yeah.
I checked out of the series Detroit Pistons,
I always check out.
Orlando Magic, because they were losing 3-1.
Because they were playing who?
Orlando Magic.
Was playing who?
Detroit Pistons.
You didn't say that part.
I didn't say the Pistons?
No.
I think I did. I think rewind it.
He did.
All right, so they're playing the Detroit Pistons, and I said, what in the world? They're down 3-1. I didn't even say it. I'm not even... A week later, I turned the TV back on. The game's on. I said, was this a rerun? They're in Game 7. It's locked 3-3. So that means they went on to win 3 games in a row. Detroit Pistons are still in this. Listen, Michigan, the state of Michigan.
So I'd say that's some Detroit magic. See what I did there? Orlando's not so magic anymore, are they?
Not so magic anymore.
The Detroit
The
magic.
magic was Cade. Cade.
So you were on this like sports theme,
Yeah.
and you're like, sweet, we're gonna talk about.
Well, because I know that today we're talking about titles. We're talking about the WWE Championship. Right now, Roman Reigns is the world heavyweight champion. And that's why I'm so excited, because today's show is about titles.
No, today's show is about title, not titles like championship. I'm so sorry to make you sad. I wish you would have read the notes beforehand. That's just telling everybody you really didn't read the notes of the show, because we are not talking about titles, championships, and all the things. We are talking our home buying series that we've been doing. And actually, shout out to Nancy from the Willow. I ran into her the other day because I had to support her and get her chocolate chip cookies. And she said, oh my gosh, I love the series you guys are doing right now, the home buying series. She said, even though we've purchased a home, there was so many things that I didn't realize. And so I thought that was really cool that she gave us a shout out. So I'm going to give you, Nancy, a shout out as well. Go get some cookies at the Willow.
Get some cookies.
Yeah. And so she also said, sometimes you don't know the questions to ask, especially if it's your first time buying a house. So they're like, you don't know. We've said it before. You don't know what you don't know. So you don't know the questions. So we are asking the questions for you so that you don't have to think of the questions, and we're getting the answers for you. So if you haven't listened to the show, go back. Is there a go back button? Go back. Yep. Go back and listen to the series. We started sitting down with a realtor, and then we had a lender, and then we had an inspector, and then an appraiser, and then an insurance agent.
And then today,
we are answering all your burning questions that you have about title. And so first, let's reintroduce the local real estate mogul. Go ahead and introduce
hold on.
yourself.
So what you
Always.
what you're telling me
Always.
is this is not about wrestling championships.
Are you going to walk off? Are you going to walk off the show?
All right, who do we got?
Do you have to change your questions that you're going to ask? Like,
Yeah.
Did you think we're going to have Roman Reigns on here, or did you think it was a different guest?
Thought we had the tribal chief live today from the studios.
Maybe that's next week. Tune in next
Cody
week and see
Rhodes.
if we'll have them on the show. One day we will.
WWE World Champ.
One day we will. But that is not today, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Man, I tell you, all I pictured was you flipping this table up, body slamming me down. There's a new champion.
Yeah.
New champion.
New champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Burke, EXP Realty.
Associates.
Yeah, Nancy, you rock. So I'm glad that people are getting benefits out of
Yeah.
this. That's really the reason
That's
why
why we're
I
doing
did
it.
it.
Yeah.
28, 29 years selling, going on 28, 29 years selling real estate. We covered 3/4 of the state. We sold over 1,200 homes in the last 5 years alone to a high level, very professional level. And I wanted to bring this out to really, I feel like it's been a need for probably the majority of my career, if not all.
Yeah.
So nice to be able to be here with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. And you brought a guest with you. So
did.
can you please introduce yourself?
My name's Kathy, and I've known Jeff going back about 20 years. So I grew up in the industry. My mom was a real estate agent, and then I kind of fell into the industry. I don't think anyone's childhood dreams is to get into title. I don't know why.
They might.
Unless it's WWE.
Yes,
Yeah,
then you want
maybe.
the title.
But I'm going to age myself, and I still think WWF. Because we got the kitchen table out of the way.
Yeah.
Three older brothers.
Yeah. Did you watch when you were younger? Yeah.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
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 Who was your
So,
favorite? Did you have a favorite wrestler growing up?
Hulk.
I'm a real American.
Yeah.
Fight for the
Oh yeah, he's right up there.
He's
we
right
have
up
him
there,
right
as a
up
matter of
there.
fact.
Yeah.
There we go. Good
We're
thing
not,
I
talking
said
about, we're not talking about heaven either. He's actually
He's actually on the show.
He's
We're not
actually
talking
on the
about
show.
I
he's
didn't
up
even
there.
know that, and I picked the right one.
you
Nice.
picked the right one.
Good job.
So
Good job.
yeah, I met Jeff when I was selling home warranties. So and I've been in title now about 15 years, and I love my job, even though it's not the funnest part of the transaction.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
But it's
that's good.
probably the most important part of the transaction.
That's
I'd
cool.
like to think.
Yeah.
I mean, you're important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give or
But-
take.
But at the end is what it matters. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And all the work you
when
do
your
before.
name's on that dotted line,
You sign the dotted line.
sign the dotted line. What you gonna do, brother?
Pure joy.
So
Now you've
15
seen-
years you were the champion.
Trying to be. Yeah.
Title.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you explain, right? Well, you like to ask the question. How do you like to ask the question?
We're gonna go right there.
Yeah.
Let's dumb it down for the average Joe.
Yeah.
What's the process? How do we get our name on the championship title line? What does that
For the
look
contract.
like on
How do
the
you
contract?
how do you sign the contract?
Put it above a hanging venue so that we can climb the ladder, get the contract, sign our name. What has to happen for that to go through?
So, would you guys agree that typically buying a home is probably the biggest purchase most of your clients are going to make?
Yeah, as I say, the three biggest things in life that you'll do is getting married, having kids, buying your home.
Yeah.
Don't do all three of them at the same time.
We did,
Not recommended.
we did that.
We did
No,
two of them
I
at the
tell
same
ya.
time. I was signing documents after I gave birth in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
That was fun.
Wow, no.
But
While she was giving birth.
Yeah, that wasn't I did.
In between-
I was part of that.
in
In
bet-
between pushes.
in between pushes, I was
She
signing.
was signing the. I was like,
That's
he
crazy.
had to be. It's like he's got to do it now. guys.
Yeah.
Thank God for electronic.
But you know what? You know what?
You're like, but you're like, yeah, okay, and then this one, yeah, I'm gonna need you to.
But you know what the greatest thing was that afterwards when we were moving, I was like, sorry, I can't help. I just had a baby.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I have to go.
Yeah.
Like go ahead and just move the
Yeah.
stuff. You know. So
Yeah.
it was kind of good timing in that.
Yeah,
aspect.
win-win. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very stressful. So don't do any of those three together. Try to do one at a time, right? And preferably try to get married before you buy a home.
Shout out to M&M Movers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the moving. They did all the heavy lifting, if you know what I
While
mean.
you were pretending to.
Yeah. Hiding away in my room. Pretending to take care of a newborn, just pretending.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Title insurance is is the only insurance that doesn't cover future events. It actually covers past events. So in residential real estate, the title company does a 40-year look back. In commercial,
Oh,
it's
wow.
actually a 100-year look back.
Wow.
So completely unique because typically, car insurance, driving along, something happens. But we're looking for what happened in the history of the property. So
So
we're
a lot of research.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of research.
So somewhere there's a database
Yep.
that can
Yep.
show
So
you
we're going to
everything that happened.
county records.
Okay.
Yep. So if it's an up north property, we might need somebody to physically go there.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a exam team that has an examiner and an abstractor, and I call them the super smart girls.
Mm-hmm.
And they are compiling what's called a title commitment.
Okay.
The consumer never usually sees the title commitment.
Sure.
It's like the pre-insurance that we provide to the agent. And what we're looking for is we're going to tell the real estate agent who the seller is. So if they're meeting with Mike Smith, but the paperwork says Bob Smith owns it, is that the dad? So we're making sure when you are in labor signing that the person that said they own the house is actually the real owner. Then we call it clouds on title,
Okay.
and that could be how many mortgages are currently on the property. Is there an IRS lien? Is there a state tax lien? Did they accidentally forget to pay their roofing contractor and there's a $40,000 mechanics lien on the property? So we're making sure as you're signing in the hospital
Yeah.
that you're getting the house free and clear and who owns it actually owns it. So we're working with the real estate agent
It's good.
to ask all those questions. Are they a U.S. citizen? Are they married? Are they divorced?
Yeah.
Is anyone deceased? Because the real estate agent is going to work with our customer to provide us with those documents to give clean, clear, marketable title.
Okay.
Which means they can sell it.
So,
So-
have you ever come across something where, let's say, you're doing the research and you're like, this is
Yeah.
really the dad's and he's still alive and he
Yeah.
doesn't
well,
know
there's
they're trying to
people
sell
that
it?
fraudulently do deeds and say they own the house and they have nothing to do with their house. There's people that physically will show up at a closing table, fake sellers, fake buyers, fake IDs. The person closing them, industry veteran, 20 years, knows his stuff, fake cashier's check. They hit 4 title companies about 4 years ago.
Wow.
FBI got involved, but fraud,
Wow.
there's always people out there that make things that we do
Harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
So our job is to protect
Sure.
money, make sure the people are who they really say they are, right? And make sure that that stuff doesn't happen. So it can be scary. What we do, like I joke and I say like it's not the funnest part of the transaction, but it really is the
It's
most
an
important.
important, yeah.
So, and we are at the closing table, making sure it's not the stressful experience. Our job is to make it smooth and easy. I always say we're Switzerland, the title companies are,
You're
where
neutral.
all of the money comes in and out and all of the paperwork, we're handling that, right? So we're the one explaining with the real estate agent. They sit there usually and
Yeah.
like will help answer questions with their client, but we're explaining in layman's terms what they're signing because it's all legalese. It's all,
Sure.
and I think our industry, would you agree? Kind of, we use words like escrow and what the heck is that? Like
Yeah.
we complicate things.
Yeah.
And not that we're complicating them, but we don't always talk in, okay, escrow is like a savings account. We're going to put this money aside
Yeah.
for after closing when this repair, it's going to come out of this escrow account, right?
Yeah.
So it's critical to have the right partnerships
Yep.
and the right team members. So they're explaining that so someone understands,
Yeah.
right? We can't assume people.
Right. The industry
Understand.
jargon that
Yeah.
you're using.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's important to pick a great real estate agent that will help teach you, coach you.
Yep.
You know, and really, supposedly, hopefully they know the words themselves.
Yeah.
You know, because.
Well, and that's one thing that I teach the team, right? And because I know years back, my wife and I were sitting with a financial advisor, and he's talking all of this stuff, and I'm like, my head is bobbing. Like I always refer to like the little doggy in the back of the window, just kind
Yeah.
of bobbing. Like yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I go out and walk in the parking lot and look at my wife and say, "Did you have a clue of what he said?" And she's like, "No, I thought you did."
Yeah.
right.
That's what we do sometimes,
It was
right,
a-
babe? You're like, you were saying yes. Do you know what they were saying? And I was like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like I always say we can talk realtor,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's like and I tell all my clients, it's like if it doesn't make sense, ask me again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And then I'll explain it differently so it does make sense.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
For that. And don't be scared to ask the question.
Yeah.
Right?
My dad just said, my dad's going to be 86 this month, and he just said to we just went to visit him in Florida. He's like, Lucas, there's no stupid question except for the question you don't ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
But when you're signing docs,
Yeah.
sometimes you need to be comfortable with who's
Yeah.
helping you with that process and why this is so important.
You don't have to pretend.
The partnership is so important.
Yeah.
So I mean, when we show up, it's comfortable. It's a great time, right? Very happy. You know, I always say it's like you never land the plane with the landing gear coming down as you're landing, right? It's a nice soft landing. Great experience, great way to end it, and so they can move in, and it's just complete.
Yep. And they feel good.
Yep.
Yeah. That's good. So, okay, so let's go back. So
Yeah.
let's talk about you're doing the research
Yep.
and you're finding that they're not trying to be fraudulent, but they didn't know, maybe they know the deed is somewhere in a folder, not sure, maybe it's the parents' home or something like that, and they don't know that the title, is cloudy. It's not a clean title,
Yeah.
let's say. So how do you work through that?
So we work and coordinate through the real estate agent and the real estate agent's team to gather those documents to provide to our director of title operations, our exam team, to clear any of those potential. So one of the things real estate agents do, sometimes at the listing presentation, and sometimes somewhere after they've signed the listing, is we get payoff authorizations. The payoff authorizations, Jeff could be sitting with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and they tell Jeff that there's one mortgage. They forgot, though, that there's a home equity they took out 20 years ago for $50,000 to redo their kitchen.
Sure.
Because it's had a zero balance for the
Sure.
last 16 years. The payoff authorizations allow us to pay those off and close the accounts. Because again, unfortunately, I would never think to do this.
Yeah.
But there are people that close on their home and then leave the closing and go take $254,000 out. Right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and they
Yeah.
don't own the home anymore. So then, but that's where you have title insurance, typically a claim with title, like how we're used to paying deductibles on our auto. There's no deductible on title insurance. The title underwriter, there's about 8 main big ones nationally. When you call and you have a claim, typically, historically, it's about 5 years after you close. It's not like, boom, you move into a house and find out there's an issue. But you call the underwriter or email them, and they either approve or deny the claim.
Okay.
But then they're working on the client's behalf. Their attorney, they don't have a deductible to make them whole.
Yeah.
Then they go make themselves whole.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody lied, was
Yeah.
fraudulent, or maybe a mistake was made. And and they're usually pretty big claims.
Yeah.
So, and I have a few stories that I can tell you guys of things that are kind of scary that can happen and why it's important.
Tell
But
us
it's-
one of them.
Okay, so you move into your house, you've got your new baby. She or he is
Yep,
8 months
she.
old. You get a knock on the door, and it's the city inspector being like, "Hey, the 3-season room on the back of your house, you guys never pulled a permit." What? Baby's crying. Like, what? That's the last thing you need.
Sure.
But like, part of an insurance policy, there was some coverage for that homeowner in that situation. So there's little things that as consumers and
You don't
as
know.
industry professionals,
Sure.
there's not a day in this industry that I don't learn something new or hear of something that's like, what?
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, again,
You could write a book.
it's not going to be a very fun book. It's not going to be. It's going to lose people by page 4. Unless Hulk will be a picture on
Yeah.
page
There you
5,
go.
and then they'll get them
There you
read.
go.
It'll be the cover. Put them on
Yeah,
the cover if
yeah,
people want to read
exactly.
it about titles. Yeah.
Title for title.
So
when they go, you mentioned earlier when they go up north and they're examiners, you just need to go if it's a lakefront property. You probably need to go and have
I
eyes
do.
on the property. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Just for more
yeah.
knowledge.
and I have to take my paddleboard too. and I
yeah,
have
of course,
to, test.
to really
Yes.
see, really look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Critical.
So at what point do you come into, we'll call it a conversation, right? Like what part do you come into the conversation, the home buying process? Like,
So typically, real estate agents that I work with are ordering, as soon as they get the listing, they order what we call pre-title. So we get started
so
on
that's
the
what you're
paperwork.
talking about.
Because if an IRS lien comes up, that's months.
Mm-hmm.
So then if they get an offer on a property, they might not be able to close. You have a lot of unhappy people. So we do pre-title insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And then not obviously, because that's why we're educating here,
Mm-hmm.
but at the closing, the seller, 99% of the time, is providing the buyer an owner's policy. And if that buyer is getting a mortgage, they're providing the buyer a lender's policy.
yeah.
So there's 2. If it's a cash transaction, it's just 1 policy.
Yeah.
So there's not really anything necessarily a seller or a buyer needs to do to get prepared, except for in good real estate agents who are dotting their I's and crossing their T's are going to be asking the questions. Do they own the house in a trust? Was there a death or a divorce? They're going to go through, along with that, working in conjunction with that title company to get that taken care of. They're going to need to provide documents, because what the title company does, we have to record documents through the county. So we might need to, if the property was in, see, this is really, I know you guys are riveted.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need one of those sound things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we have to record documents. Maybe they've lived in the house 50 years and Mrs. is surviving, but she has to record Mr.'s death certificate along with it. We do all that not fun stuff, right? So there's a history of the chain of title. Super not fun stuff, but it's important.
It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. So going back to
Especially the lineage of the title.
Yeah.
the bloodline.
You can see who was like the first champion, held the title, and then like the next title holder, and it's important.
Yeah, it is important.
Yeah.
So let's go back to, you mentioned trust.
Yeah.
So if the house is in a trust,
Yeah.
what needs to happen? Like, does it depend on the trust? Like, there's certain
Yeah.
people who need to sign it, certain number of,
Yeah.
like, how does that
So
work?
we're looking at those trust documents, and the certificate of trust is like the book report of the trust.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that certificate of the trust that who's allowed to sign. So if the people are still alive, we prepare a certificate of trust, an updated one. It has to be that certificate, that little book report has to be new within the first year from the date of closing.
Yep.
But if there's been somebody that has been deceased, they typically need to go back to their attorney or find an attorney to prepare that. Because the trust can be so complicated.
Yeah.
How real estate agents don't practice law, title company doesn't practice law.
Sure.
That's where we walk a fine line with educating without giving legal advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you say that? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
You're being a little too quiet here.
You've been doing great. Yeah, you've been doing great. So,
Hey, he's talked for like 7 episodes already. He's fine.
I'm giving you the time to shine.
I'm here. I'm Frank and I. We're gonna be doing like some
Arm wrestling, the real wrestling.
But no, I mean, we do a lot of that up front, right? Okay, is it in a trust? Is it in a estate? What do we got to do? So we, as realtors, I mean, we prepare, right? And get all that. A lot of people, sellers, they've got a trust, and we go back and tell them we need to update it, do whatever, and it's kind of like why, right? So that a lot of those things can be handled up front, so it's not a shock at the end,
Right.
For it.
Right.
So that's one of the things that we try to do is just kind of prepare as we go in and before we take the listing, because there might be some things that we need to do prior to the listing,
Right.
before we just put a sign in the yard, sell it, and then you get an offer, and then we're
And then
all
you're
waiting.
backtracking.
Yeah. So, who you hire matters.
Yeah.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are people that get the listing, don't order pre-title.
Yeah.
They get an offer, it's a cash offer, and they want to close in a week, and
Yeah.
you find out that there's an IRS lien.
Yeah.
I mean, just yeah.
Well, especially if you have a timeline, like let's say they took a job somewhere and they got, they have to move in a couple weeks. Like we got to get this thing moving. And so then you're literally backtracking and waiting.
Yeah, I had one about 3 years ago where it was, say, Mike and Sue Smith. I use Mike Smith a lot for whatever
Smiths are
reason.
buying a lot.
Yeah, right?
But
Mr. and Mrs.
it wasn't
Smith.
husband and wife. Sue was the 98-year-old mom up in Traverse City. And it's like,
Oh, when you started, I thought this was going to get a lot more juicier. I was
No,
like, wait,
just the
what?
mom.
I'm saving
Just
that,
the mom.
saving that, just the mama. Yeah. But she needs to sign. Are we going to do a power of attorney
Sure.
so that someone else can sign on her behalf?
Sure.
So,
To go back to trust, when you have, like, let's say the trust is written where like 2 out of the 3 siblings have to sign, can they just like sign a document, or do they have to actually go to closing and they have to sign off on the house?
it depends on how it's written. Usually with a trust, there's one person that can sign. So it depends. If
and
it's
they'll
a
be
trust,
at closing.
they can be at closing, but
Okay.
we, hundreds a year, we might send a closer to New Jersey.
Oh,
We
sure.
might send a closer to Florida. A lot of times
Like a split closing? Yeah, okay.
Where if you have, like, it happens in estates where you have siblings in multiple locations.
Sure.
So we're able to, because the seller can sign ahead of time. They can pre-sign their
So
documents.
this is a great segue to split closing.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
So I want to bring my parents back up. So my mom is soon to be 85. And about 3 years ago, I'm at her house on a visit on the weekend, and I was explaining to her that there's more than one title company. And she's like, no, there's not. And I'm like, what have I been doing? I go, yeah, there is. And she goes, that's just dumb. So our industry, Michigan's one of the only states where the fancy word, why anyone would use it, I don't even think it's a real word, it's called bifurcated title. So where there's 2 title companies on a transaction. So you'll have one title company representing the seller, one title company representing the
Is it
buyer.
just preference? Like, what's the reason?
If I'm going to be honest, I think it started in the late 70s, early 80s, where brokers wanted to have ownership, and it's a revenue. It's a revenue generating.
Sure.
Real estate for a broker it's not always a huge money producer. So they'll have affiliated agreements with different
That they
partnerships.
have to use them.
And they don't have to, like, because the consumer always has a choice.
Sure.
But this is where also the real estate agent is partnering with who is going to best serve them and their customer and who they have the relationship. So when they call with an issue, it's like, I'm going to get on it and fix it.
Yep.
Because we run into bumps and weird stuff pop up in our industry, and the customer, really anything we do, but
Yeah.
this real estate transaction is super important, that who you partner with matters.
Totally.
And I'm going to say, from a lending standpoint, even if you work and you're in the military, just going to Navy Federal Credit Union just because that's where you bank is not always the best. I've seen multiple title teams cringe with certain banks
Sure.
because the service isn't there. Just because they're a bank or a lender doesn't mean, or it's your cousin's brother, doesn't mean that that's going to be the best thing for you.
Right. Do your research.
Really do your research, but really rely
And
on
hire
the
Jeff.
Well, rely on the expert, because it's just because that's where you do your banking doesn't mean Their specialty is mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it may not benefit you. And I've literally seen closings drag out 30, 45 days because it's a lender that maybe shouldn't be in that
Sure.
wheelhouse.
Sure.
It's just not their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing negative on Navy Federal Credit Union by any
Yeah,
means.
No.
Yeah,
No,
it's just
but-
an example.
But
so,
it is an example.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and for here locally, we were pretty well insulated where we closed at one title company for quite some time, the greater Lansing area. And the majority of the rest of the state closed separately, right? COVID hit. Next thing you know,
Everything changed.
everything changed.
Yeah.
We're closing. You're walking out to cars, having them sign with masks and
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
doing that in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And now, and it took away, in my opinion, took away from the closing experience, for it, where buyer and seller sat in the same room, kind of seller was able to, I think it happened with you guys, right? Where we didn't even close with the buyers, with it. And takes a little bit of that experience away and kind of the ending and the beginning,
Yeah.
as well.
I'd say 80% of deals are true splits where they're signing in different locations.
Yeah,
And-
cash have to be together,
Yeah.
which is good. But yeah, I would much prefer everybody together.
Sure.
Just
It
for
makes it
paperwork.
such a more smooth process.
And you want to ask questions like, hey, or like, hey, our neighbors on the right are really nice. Our neighbors on the left are not so nice. You kind of, do some, chatter about, or, hey, this, whatever, or they have questions, that they want to ask them, or, those kind of things.
Yeah.
And so that's important. I like that you're talking about the research, though, that goes in behind it and the work, even having to physically go to the location and all the, research, because as somebody who's buying a house, right, you look at the closing costs and you see all the lines, right, that
There are a lot of lines.
there's a lot of lines to show where the money goes,
Yeah.
right, and to
Yeah.
make sense. And usually they'll send it to you before closing,
Yeah.
so you have an idea.
Yep.
And some people read it and some people don't.
100%.
But if you are a reader
Yeah.
and you do like to go line by
Yeah.
line, it's they may say, well, how come this much goes to this and this much goes to this?
Yep.
And so I think it's important to show, right, the reason why is because you guys have work to do,
Yeah.
especially if there's a whole bunch of things you have to unravel to make it a clean title.
Yep.
That's
In title
takes work.
insurance, it's also, I think, comforting to know they're filed rates through the state. So there is not a lot of difference from title insurance from premium because you're going to have it based off the purchase price or based off the loan amount. So the fluctuation can be on the closing costs. So that's where we see when we're comparing some of our competitors where it's like, holy smokes, that looks like they're gouging.
Yeah.
We do see that.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Not often,
Yeah.
because the majority of our competitors are awesome.
Yeah. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on, Jeff, as far as, we're talking about coming to the closing table? That's like the best email ever, or call or text or whatever, when it's like, we're clear to close, And so when you're able to tell your buyers or sellers that you're clear to close, because that's kind of what you're waiting on, right? After the process of everything that you've gone through, going through this home buyer series, now you're at the point of, we're waiting for kind of the loose ends to get tied up. We're waiting for the clear to close. Can you explain, kind of what that means? And maybe even if you want to tell any of the lines of clear to close, because I'm sure you've heard sort of the same probably questions maybe that are on the lines of clear to close. Can you explain that a little bit more?
So the process, when we get the clear to close, that's from the mortgage company, right? And now the mortgage company sends all of the numbers and everything to the title company. They work up those numbers and then they get that to us. And then we, as realtors, we break all that down, make sure that everything is per contract and everything is right. And then I call my buyer or my seller and I let them know, break down the numbers, right? And let them know how much either they need to wire or bring to close or how much money they're getting at close as a seller, right?
Yeah.
So you got to know the numbers. You got to know how to explain them, right? And if you don't, ask somebody, right? Ask the title company. They'll break it down, for you as well, educate you. And so that way you can do that. We send everything over to our client. And if they have any questions, they call. If not, we show up, not to the title, but we do what we call final walkthrough, right? So meet at the house, make sure the house is still in the order that it was in the last time we saw it. There's no holes in the wall. The plumbing is still there.
Yeah.
It's a great story, right? Plumbing is still there. The appliances still there. Washer and dryer, whatever you negotiate.
There was no
still
flooding in the
there.
basement while
Yeah,
waiting.
no flooding, right?
Yeah.
And that's happened.
Yeah.
Right. And last thing you want to do is show up. I think we probably spoke on this with, in earlier, segments there. But and then after we're done, then we go to the title company. They sign all the documents, and they're, as I say, they're happy homeowners, right? With that. So in the experience from the title side is I'm signing the documents. We're buying a house. We're selling our house. It's fun. It's light. A lot of buyers, it's first experience. Like they walk in, they're like, they're nervous, right? Like, oh my gosh, this is a big thing. And it is.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like a very nervous negative.
Yeah.
Right. So we try to keep it light, keep the conversation down. So
Give
that
them
way,
coffee.
yeah, coffee, water, whatever, right? But keep the conversation down, being, if we're together, like, we allow the title company and the buyer or seller to be able to communicate. So if they do have questions, we're not interrupting, right? The deal is not done until the last signature signed, right? And then everything is sent off to the mortgage company, or, and everything for it. And that's when they disperse all of the funds to everybody. So.
Have you ever had like a hard, like there was like negotiating or there was something where like one side's not happy and they're here to close? And what do they like slam them on the table? Like what do they?
Haven't quite
like
had
WWE?
to slam on the table, but
Clothesline.
I have had to flex, right?
Uh-oh.
And as I can say, it's like I don't really get, I get very firm, right? And have to negotiate at the table because there's a problem, right? And maybe another whatever at the table, and then because it's like we have a problem, like water in the basement, we got to take care of. How are we going to do with this, right? The appliances are gone, what are we going to do, right?
So that's why, to back up, so that's why it's important to do a final walkthrough, right?
Yep.
Because you don't skip that part. I know some people, we've seen the house, we're good, like it's probably fine, or I was just there last week or something like that, right?
Because they don't have to.
They can take the fixtures out or the...
Yeah, or not do what was required.
Yep.
Right? Or
right, the repairs, whatever it is.
Because I remember our first home, they had to like paint. They had to repaint the garages because of the paint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was all peeling paint. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
he was
we
kind
had
of upset about it, but
yeah, I think we had one recently to where, and it wasn't one of ours. It was one that we'd heard about, but the agent did not do a final walkthrough with their client, and the client goes to walk in, and the basement's completely flooded. Oh. Well, we had all that rain, right? Yeah, the time you want to know that is before you sign, right?
Totally, yeah.
I've had it to where, during the, foreclosures and all that, people were breaking in, stealing all of the copper plumbing,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Ripping it out of the walls. And if you're not doing a final walkthrough, you're not seeing that. I've always said to the team, it's like you picture your husband picking up the wife and carrying her across, opening the door, and it's like, what? And then you drop it,
no
right?
plumbing.
You're like, poof, drop, right? Turn
Into
it
the
on
water.
and nothing goes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not the time to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the final walkthrough is crucial. With it. Even to the point if one of our clients say, no, we don't need to do one, a lot of times we'll walk through it prior to, just to make sure.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like maybe if they're out of state and they're not here and they can't walk through it, at least for you to do it.
Yeah, that's our job.
Or they'll turn off the electricity.
Yeah.
Like change the name or whatever and turn off electricity, and now the sub pump's not
pump's not
working.
running.
So
Yeah, happens.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so what are some of the setbacks? We kind of talked about some setbacks, right, that come up when if it's a trust or a fraudulent or something like that. Is there anything else that homeowners can do?
I think, there is. I think one of the things that homeowners, because we can't give legal advice, one of the things that I think our industry as a whole, there's kind of a little pocket of education that doesn't get done regularly enough or thoroughly enough, that people going to buy need to think about how they're taking their titles.
come on.
And what I mean by that,
Now we're talking.
is
Now we're
It's
Now
mine.
he woke up.
Is Hulk Hogan going on the deed?
Yeah.
Like, who is
Yeah.
Hulk gonna take? Give me another wrestler's name, because now I got to run with this.
With
I
Hulk
can't.
Hogan?
The
Yeah.
Rock.
Rock.
Let's do the
Yeah,
Rock.
okay.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Okay, so is the Hulk
WrestleMania 18.
going into? If the Hulk's buying a property, and he's buying it with his best friend Dwayne, like how I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
How are they taking title? Are they taking it full rights of survivalship? Again, you guys, I know this isn't the fun part, but
Yeah.
thinking
It's
that
necessary.
through before you get to the closing table
Right.
on how you're going to legally be taking that.
Yep.
Because maybe Hulk and Dwayne, their intention is that if something happens to one of them, God rest his soul,
Yeah.
that he wants Dwayne to own it completely.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be full rights of survivorship.
Okay.
So maybe Hulk has 4 kids, even though I think he only had 2.
Brooke.
Yeah. But maybe he wants Brooke to have ownership. So then it
Not
would
The
be.
Rock.
So they would. What'd you say?
And not The Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe Hulk wants his heirs to have that ownership. Those are things,
Yeah.
and that fancy word is called tenancy.
Yeah.
So, buyers educating themselves on tenancy and how they want to take title, because their real estate agent can only help them so much.
Sure.
The title company can only help them. We can't give legal advice.
Sure.
That would be the one thing that is really important to slow down and educate yourself on and how you're going to do that.
So, okay, let's say you purchase the home by yourself, right? And
Yep.
then you get married.
Yep.
And then you want to put your spouse
Yep.
on. How does that work? Who would they need to contact to do that?
So-
or if you want to change anything about the
So
deed.
people can do it themselves. But I highly discourage people because if they make a mistake, they just put a break in the chain of title. So when they go to sell, if it's not done right, so oftentimes they can go back to the title company that closed their deal. There's a short window of time that title companies are comfortable doing, helping. And again, you guys, this is the state of Michigan. So any of you that are outside of the state of Michigan, rules can be
Sorry.
completely different. Michigan is kind of
or any internationals, sorry.
my
we
friend,
don't know your
my friends that live on the west side of the country, like we are the wild, wild west with how we do certain things.
Yeah.
The California, like they just have so many more stipulations.
Sure.
So a title company could prepare what's called a quit, not quick, because a lot of people say it's a quick claim deed. A quit, QUIT claim deed, to add that now spouse or fiance, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
to the deed.
Yeah.
So you had said crazy situations
Yeah.
that came up.
Yeah.
We once had a sweet grandma when those rates dropped to 2.5%.
Mm-hmm.
Add all of her grandkids and her kids to the deed.
Of
Well, when
course.
she went to go want to refi to take advantage of the 2.5%, she had a falling out with her daughter and one of the other grandchildren, and they would not sign. She could not refi. So it's important to think through.
She probably didn't get the jewels then.
She probably did not.
They didn't get her jewels.
No, probably
Wasn't in
not.
the will then.
But it's important, it's very important to consult people to help
Yeah.
you make those decisions if you don't know, because
Yeah.
there can be some pretty harsh implications
Yeah, that's good.
and tax implications on how you take deed.
Yeah.
So, question.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
might have the answer.
that situation, right? So, mom, I just had it, but mom quit claimed her son onto the deed.
Mm-hmm.
Mom passed. Can you add right onto that quit claim deed rights of survivorship?
After Mama's passed?
No, before.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
when she quit claim. Yeah, I got. So like what I had was
Mm-hmm.
mom quit claim son, right? Onto the deed. Mom had passed. Now it's all him. He's the
So
only
we
heir.
use quit claim as like a verb. Like it's creating a new deed, but we use it as a
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It
right?
is.
Yeah, so which is the confusion, right, out
Mm-hmm.
in the industry, as well as to when you just maybe some of the listeners probably glossed over, like, what, you lost me on tenancy, right?
Not our
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, no. So, it's that wasn't done right. So they had to go probate. They had to do all this, all of these things that take up time, to where it's like if and there was a delay on that. because it wasn't done properly, right? And it was, okay, well, this is your title company, you're this. No, this is why we have title companies is to be able to make sure it's done properly, right? And whoever does that quitclaim for you, if you had anybody do it, if you didn't just go down and do a quitclaim deed yourself and do it wrong, that's why it matters to make sure you got the right.
Because just those 2 words, full rights of survival, more than 2. See, I can't count.
All those words.
5? 4 words. Probate would not have had to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and that's
That costs money and time.
Yeah.
so one of the most saddest. How do I want to say that?
Yeah.
The
Saddest
part, yeah.
is when people have been married 60 years. They've lived in that house 55 years. And it's just in Mister's name, and he passes. And Mrs. has been in the house 55 years, and now she has to probate to sell.
Yeah.
Breaks. I have goosebumps every time. It makes
Yeah.
me so. So one of the things, if there are other real estate agents listening, like, look at the deed and how it's held. Or if you just got married and you're not on the deed, it's like, so I have an attorney that we work with that for $150 in the state of Michigan will do a deed. And so they can pay that attorney directly. So I'm happy to share that information. Like, I don't know how you guys, like, if they reach out to you.
Call me.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what is your information? How do we get a hold of you? How do you?
So my email is Kathy@titlemi.com. That probably just, if you've got questions, my phone number is 586-292-8436.
Is it Kathy with a C or a K?
Kathy with a K.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I dropped the ball on that one.
make sure.
Yeah.
Jeff, how do we get a hold of you again?
Jeff Burke Jeff at jeffburkeassociates.com, jeffburkeassociates.com, or my cell phone 517-204-3311. And as I did last time, 517-204-3311.
Any final words from either of you?
Great stuff.
Yeah, did good.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
Did great. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're awake.
You've been listening to the E612 Show. Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah, going for the title.
Listen, you've been listening to the E612 Show. Do they know the whole process now? Go get a house. What are you waiting for?
You're clear to close.
You're clear to close. Get
buy
off
a
your
house.
butt. Go for the title.
Yeah.
Put your name on the dotted line.
Sign it.
Go up the ladder. Grab the contract. Sign your name on the dotted line.
That's
Win
right.
the championship. Warrior out.